Beautiful, beautiful people of the interwebs. Let me go ahead and pull up something real quick, which should be our music for the day. Uh, 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 um, well, I can't see without my glasses. Blind as a bat without those. Let's see. Should we go with the usual mix that we all love? Like that never lets us down, right? I don't have comments pulled up just yet, so bear with me, guys. Bear with me. I've got to let the Discord chat know for starters that we're live. Throw a little smiley face in there. All right. What's up, Kay? What's up, Olivia? What's up? I don't want to try to pronounce your name because I'll totally mess it up. Let's turn that music down a little bit. That's a little bit too loud. A little bit too loud. Let's see here. Okay, there's that. Get it a little bit more lit up in here. Hey, you know, we've had a lot of success. Life is good, but I'm not going to question your psychiatrist or your psychologist. I'm not a doctor. I can't do that. I can't do that. But what I will tell you is there's no harm in using the two main keys, right? So living life, right? Whether you want to believe in childhood trauma or whatever, whatever, right? Living life, okay? What's the harm in that? You know, so I'm not a doctor, guys. I can't go against your doctor and say don't listen to your doctor. You know, I can't do that. I can't do that. But what I can tell you is there's absolutely no harm in living life. There's absolutely no harm in, going through this life with this different outlook, right? So if you're getting treatment from your psychologist or your therapist or your doctor, you know, get your treatment from them too. And then if you want to use the two main keys, that's fine, right? I can tell you that. So if you're seeing a doctor, if you're seeing a therapist, that's excellent. Everyone has to make that choice, right? But if you want to use what I'm saying too on the side, that's fine. Absolutely fine, right? What's up, Sean? How's everybody doing today? I'm just trying to get everything in order over here. Yeah, so that's the thing. It's nothing to freak out about. It's nothing to freak out about. You know, if you're getting treatment by your doctor, by your therapist, that's excellent. That's excellent. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't freak out about that. You know, do whatever they recommend, but you can also use the two main keys. It's no big deal. They're not really contradicting or anything. The two main keys are pretty straightforward. This is like pretty straightforward behavioral, retraining. So it's like if you're getting treatment from your doctor or your therapist, absolutely. What's up, Cade? How you doing, bro? Guys, we're going to get started in just a second. Live and it all starts to become clear. We're going to get going in just a minute. We'll go ahead and fade this music out of here so I'm not trying to talk over that the whole time. Yeah, see, that's fine. That's fine. Life is good. There's nothing wrong with obviously being treated by your doctor or your therapist or whatever the case may be. Obviously, there's nothing wrong with that. Maybe some talk therapy or whatever the case may be, whatever they recommend. There's nothing wrong with that. But you can also work on the you know, two main keys because they don't really contradict. You know what I mean? They don't really contradict. The two main keys are very straightforward. Live your life, okay, because you're not gaining anything from being, wallowing in your bed all the time. It's making you feel worse. And with these behaviors, the brain loves to see it. You don't have to exert yourself, just get back into life in little or big ways. So that doesn't contradict anything, right? That doesn't contradict anything. And then these negative thoughts, start to see them as, you know what, as I continue to live my life, as I continue to raise my mood by living my life a little bit, by getting back into my life, even though it doesn't feel like it'll help, right? These thoughts will start to become more clear, right? So there's no contradictions there. So absolutely, you can take the advice of your doctor and therapist, and you should. And you can also listen to my tips if you'd like to. All right, guys, we're going to get into the point of today's stream. Live and it all starts to become clear. Now, you guys know that I love to give examples from my personal journey, and if you can relate to them, great. If you can't relate to them, that's fine too. But we are going to talk about it. So, during my sensitization journey. And one thing I want to make known is there's varying degrees. Some people can be more sensitized than others. There's not, really such a thing as time frames or any of that. So when I say sensitized, I simply mean while you're going through these, anxious days, anxious weeks, months, whatever the case may be. So while I was on my journey, right? While I was on my journey, one thing that really, I guess, got me kind of hung up, I want to say, is I would always try to figure out all my life's worries, you know, down to a T. I was always a bit of a control freak. Okay, and that's an understatement. Okay, that right there is an understatement. I was a pretty big control freak. The stream might lag here for just a second. I'm getting some like interference or something. Hold on, give it a second. 1 second. One second. Okay, I think we're all right. Sorry about that. I was getting some frame drops there for a second, but we should be good. That happens every now and then. I don't know why, but it does. But anyway, we should be okay. So, you know, on my journey, I was always like, you know what? As I became more and more tired, as my nerves became more and more tired, I started to live less by, you know what? I'm just going to make the best choice in life that I can, and we're going to move forward, and things are going to work out. And that's what my attitude kind of was before I entered into a really tired nervous system. And it's like, you know, as my nerves got progressively more and more tired from all of the not living that I was doing, and far too much laying about and obsessing, as they became more and more tired, I start to notice that I went from this person was like, okay, bad things happen sometimes, but, this might not work out in my favor, whatever the worry was. But, I was able to think around my problems. But as I became more and more tired, I noticed that I kind of lost that person. And I think everybody in the chat can kind of agree with that. And the thing was, guys, like when I left that person behind and became more and more tired in my nervous system, it was kind of like I honed in on every single problem that my life had to offer. I honed in on every single worry that my life had to offer, right? So it was like before, where I was a little bit more carefree and a little bit more worry free, and I could think around my issues. I started to really hone in on my problems. And when you're in that sensitized place, it's kind of like I won't feel peace until I figure it all out. Who in the chat can agree with that? Can we get a raise of hands in the chat on who can agree with that statement? Can we get a raise of hands? So, it's pretty obvious that it's a very common occurrence. When you start to get more into a tired nervous system, you start to want to figure out all of your life's problems, and they become even bigger and bigger in your mind than they were before, right? And it's because you got an overactive, alarm system. It's because you've got a sensitive body. The word sensitized just means, literally, guys, the word sensitized just means sensitive. Okay, so the thing about the two main keys in living life is the thing about the two main keys is the more time you sit around and try to figure out all your life's problems, you're missing one crucial fact, right? You're missing one crucial fact, and the crucial fact that you are missing is that there's not a bunch of problems that you've got to figure out right now in order to feel better. Because if you could figure them out, you probably already would have. What you're missing is you are in a sensitive body. Therefore, you're not thinking like your old self. Therefore, you're not thinking clearly like your old self. So, I made the mistake, okay, of when my nerves got more and more tired, convincing myself that I had to figure out all of my life's problems in order to feel better. And then one day it was kind of like, I never used to live this way. I never used to be this way. I used to be able to think around my problems. I used to be able to be rational about my worries. So why am I trying to figure them all out now? Obviously, this is not me. Okay, so I'm tackling the wrong problem here. Maybe laying in bed obsessing day after day is getting me nowhere. Because if I could figure all these things out, I probably already would have, right? So it's kind of like trying to tell a sensitized person that you don't have to have it all figured out right now as far as your worries go in order to feel better. That's kind of like pulling teeth. It's kind of like pulling teeth because when you're in that sensitized place, you don't realize that. When you're in that sensitized place, you don't realize that you can go back to the old you. And that brings me to the title of today's stream, which is Live and It All Starts to Become Clear. Now, we've talked a lot about how with anxiety and with these sensations and this fear when we're in a tired nervous system, if we start living again, even though we don't necessarily feel like it, and we gave plenty of examples the other day how you can live in little or big ways. Now, I know when your morning starts, you don't feel like getting up and doing the things you used to enjoy. And I'm not telling anybody that they have to exert themselves. Okay. But understand the more that you lay there trying to figure out all of your life's problems, okay, the more stressed out you become. Because let's face it, once upon a time, this was not you. Once upon a time, you didn't lay there and try to figure out all your life's problems. Once upon a time, you didn't lay there and try to think through it all down to a microscopic level, right? So something's going on here, and I'll tell you what's going on. You have went from rest digest, which is your natural human state, to a tired nervous system. And when you are in this tired nervous system, you're not exactly in that place where you can be rational about your worries, right? So what tends to happen is people are like, if I can figure it all out, then I'll be good, right? If I can figure it all out, then I'll heal. But I'm here to tell you from somebody who tried to go that route, it doesn't exactly work that way. Doesn't exactly work that way. Hold on, guys. Let me get a quick drink. You guys know I've got this throat thing going on. Okay, much better. All right, guys. So it doesn't exactly work that way because what happens, guys? The more time you spend in bed trying to figure it all out, you'll start to notice in yourself that you get further away from figuring it all out, and you start to get more and more stressed. So one very big misconception that I had, and one very big fear that I had on my journey was that unless my life was perfectly figured out, including all of my what if worries, then I couldn't make progress. And that held me back for quite some time. That held me back for quite some time. But that's where we come to our main point of today's stream. If you just live and you don't have to exert yourself, perfection is not required. Go at your own pace. But if you just live, even though I know you don't necessarily feel like doing that, if you just live, when you start to enter into rest digest, when you start to show your brain that maybe it can lower the alarm a bit, you start to become more naturally rational, right? So, one thing that I would remind myself of when I was on my journey, okay, when I would have these worries and fears that I tried to figure out for weeks and months and whatever, I would simply remind myself, just live, it'll all become clear. Just live, it'll all become clear. You're not going to get anywhere by doing the same thing you did yesterday, laying in bed, trying to figure it all out again. That's what you did yesterday and the day before and last week and last month and the year before. You get what I'm saying? So it's like you're doing the same repetitive thing trying to get to the bottom of these worries. But if you could, you probably already would have, right? So, in a way, I understand how it's so tempting to want to get to the bottom of these things. But understand you've been trying that and you're not getting to the bottom of anything. You're just becoming more and more stressed, right? So, how do we get back to that person that's like the real rational us? That real person that's still there, that is able to think around their problems, right? Who's able to understand that these worries, okay, and these problems are not what the sensitized mind is making them out to be. How do we get back to that person? We get back to that person by showing the brain that it can lower the alarm. How do we show the brain that it can lower the alarm so that we can get back to the real rational us? By living, right? By living. The brain wants to see you getting back into life a little bit, right? Now, some people assume that that means you've got to go out of your way to do crazy things to accomplish all your life's goals. No, it simply means just change it up a little bit. Do some things you enjoy. You might not burpee. You might not necessarily feel like doing them, okay? But just get back into your life in little or big ways. See what happens, okay? I know you don't necessarily feel like it. I know you don't. But all will become clear the more you just get back into your life in little or big ways. Go at your own pace. Perfection is not required, right? So for me, it was like when I would have one of these worries pop up. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to get another drink of water right here, right quick, but I'm still going to talk to you guys. When I would have one of these worries pop up, I would simply remind myself, get back into life, live, and it'll all become clear. That was a mantra for me. I guess you could call it a mantra. Could you call that a mantra? That was a mantra for me that I used a lot, guys. Like a lot, a lot. Nothing beats water, man. Mm. How have you been though, Wonder Bro? I've been good, man. I'm glad to hear that you're doing better. I do glance over at the comments from time to time when I'm streaming, even if I don't address them mid rant. I want to read something to you guys real quick. Hold on a second. I want to read something real quick to you guys. So this is a beautiful quote, and we've read it many many times here on the channel. And it kind of puts into perspective, everything I just said. Oh, well, that sounds all nice and dandy, Wonder Bro, but can you tell me why that works? Let me put it into perspective for you with this excellent little bit of information from nothingworks.weebly. Excellent blog post. So, stop using the fight flight, okay? Practice using the rest digest. Now, what that means is your brain will automatically rewire itself, okay? And all the negative irrational thoughts will be replaced with positive rational thoughts. A common thought is, I wish my fight or flight response was more clever. Then I would not be in this condition. Use that to your advantage. The fight or flight does not know the difference between a real or pretend threat, okay? That's the cause of this disorder. Thus, it does not know the difference between a real or pretend response. And we say pretend because you don't feel like living life, right? We say pretend, but the cause of the cure. Pretend, okay, again, that's just a word that people use, but I like to prefer show your brain the truth. Act like all is well, and then you will initiate the rest digest response. Keep at it, and you'll be laughing. I love that. Absolutely love that. It kind of puts into perspective about everything that I just said. Because I know a lot of people are like, well, that's all great and all, but why does it work that way? Hey, sometimes, you do start from the bottom, Anna. Sometimes you do. I started from the bottom. I started from bedbound. Not everybody's starting from the bottom, but some people do. And that's why I say you can go at your own pace, right? Perfection not required. You can go at your own pace. I got headaches from time to time. I wouldn't call it a major symptom for me. Hey, I appreciate that, Ricardo. Like I said, I do read the comments, guys, but they're like kind of over on this side, so normally I'm like focused ranting. It's like, I tried the whole take it from me, I tried the whole staying in bed for months on end trying to figure out all my problems in order to get relief, and I started to get relief when I started living again in little or big ways. I mean, your mind is still going to scream at you, right? And you're not going to feel like it, but progress. It starts to build that confidence. You start to show your brain that all is okay. And then that's when you start to get the rational positive thoughts that start to pop out. Don't put yourself on a time frame, but as you start to retrain your brain, that's when it starts to become a little bit more clear as time goes on because you're starting to enter into the rational positive side of the brain, right? Because you're demonstrating to the brain that all is well so you can make that switch. And sometimes that takes time. You can go, absolutely go at your own pace. Absolutely, absolutely. This is not about perfection. We've been talking a lot about that the past few days. This is not about perfection or anything. It is not about perfection. Well, let's keep it simple, Sean. Let's keep it simple. Keep living life and it'll all become clear. Because the obsession doesn't actually accomplish anything. That's kind of what we figure, like as humans we're kind of like, well, if we obsess more, we'll come to more conclusions. But actually it's kind of the opposite. Live life, do things you enjoy, get back into life, don't spend so much time in bed trying to obsess your way out of it. Live your way out of it, right? And then you'll start to see how the mind starts to work for you. It might take some time, so don't beat yourself up. The brain is smart in that way. It watches. You don't have to get into a great big panic trying to stuff your day full of things. Just little or big ways, guys. Normally I'm used to laying in bed all day. Okay, well today, maybe I'll sit on the couch and I'll look at Pinterest. Happy things on Pinterest or whatever. I don't know where you are on your journey. You can go at your own pace. You can start from wherever you're at, right? Still gonna have those thoughts. You're still gonna have those thoughts. That's okay. Keep living. Just remind yourself, instead of obsessing so much, which you don't have to be perfect at this, but instead of obsessing so much, remind yourself, just keep living. It'll become clear. It'll become clear. Just keep accepting my feelings for what they are, accepting my thoughts for what they are, living my life with them, accepting them for the time being, instead of trying to obsess my way out of them, right? And it'll start to become more clear. Yeah, listening to the listener, I like that. That's a good way to put that. That's a good way to put that, man. I hope you're doing good today. It's like, oh, I don't want to have a conversation with my friend today about aliens or whatever, but I'm going to anyway, because why not? And then it starts to become a bit more clear as you continue living, as you accept these thoughts and feelings as they come, but you continue living. What's up, Wonder Bro? What's up, Joseph? I hope you're doing good today, man. Hope everyone's doing good today. I'm needing more drinks than usual. Maybe that's a sign. My voice is starting to come back. Can you guys tell? Like, is it obvious improvement? Or is it still kind of sketchy? I feel like it's improving. I feel like it's improving a little bit. Maybe not 100% or anything, but it's definitely getting better. I love the little emojis. It's like I remember on my journey, guys, like I'd be sitting there with a friend, or maybe I'd be on like the phone with a friend or something, and or maybe I'd just be around somebody, whatever. And it's like I didn't want to get into the conversation because I was like, what's the point of getting into their stupid conversation about aliens or whatever? That was my mindset. It's not stupid, but that was my mindset. But it's like as you live, especially in those moments, don't get into such a fuss over the thoughts and the feelings. Remember, just live, it'll all become clear, right? And do things that, maybe you don't necessarily feel like partaking in that conversation, but you do it anyway, and you start to see, oh, oh, as I live, it's becoming more and more clear. My brain's starting to realize that everything's okay, and this takes time. It's almost completely normal again. Almost. Like it's a little scratchy, but I think the biggest hurdle for people, with acceptance in their journey is that they feel like getting involved in things that they used to enjoy, it feels pointless to them, right? And maybe while they're doing it, they don't get the same enjoyment. But it's like this builds on itself, guys. It slowly builds on itself. It might not be an overnight thing, but you can take pride in that. It's like, hey, today I just wanted to lay in bed all day and obsess, but I got up and I gave my dog a bath. Whatever. There's a million different examples. Go at your own pace. But as you do this, you'll start to initiate rest digest. Okay? And when that happens, you'll start to notice you become more positive and rational. And this may take some time, again, so don't beat yourself up over that. Be proud, man. Be proud of your little accomplishments. And while you're doing these little things, the mind is still probably going to be yelling at you. That's fine. We accept that. The feelings are probably still going to be yelling at you. That's fine. We accept that too. But we're still doing these little things, right? And this is going to add up. You're slowly demonstrating to the brain. You're going to start to see better moments. Genuine moments. It adds up, guys. It adds up. So go at your own pace. Perfection is not required. Perfection's not required. And those thoughts might still be screaming at you. You can use my old mantra if you want to. Just keep living, it'll become clear, right? Well, that's the thing, Sean. The more you keep yourself in the stressed out body and mind, you're not thinking as clearly. So if you want to come to sharper decisions, keep living. And as you start to enter into a calmer state of body and mind, things will become much more clear. Because if you could come up with a solution to these worries, Sean, how long have you been trying to figure them out? Let me ask you that. How long have you been trying to figure out these what if worries or future worries or whatever? You need to come to a conclusion and then it's time to live. Because obviously you're just running in circles or you wouldn't be on my channel right now. You see what I'm getting at? It's like the more we worry, the harder it is for us to figure things out in a funny way. So you can come up with little solutions if you want, but at some point you've got to settle on one and just start living. And then it'll become even more clear. You see what I'm saying? So if you got all these worries, okay, well, come up with little solutions if you want, if that's what you want to do. But at some point you got to settle and get back into living, and then it'll become even more clear because running in circles is not getting you anywhere. We think we're more prepared if we do more worrying, right? Well, see, that's the thing, Sean. One day you're going to think back 30 years from now and be like, wow, I spent so many nights trying to figure out these worries and they never happened. But then your mind goes, but what if they do? And then that's when I go, live your life and see if you don't start to become more rational. Start living your life. See if you don't start to become more rational. It's time to come to a conclusion, the best conclusion that you can on these worries. But, I mean, that's all you can do. Being in this hamster wheel, you're not getting anywhere. You're not figuring shit out, right? So at some point, it's like, okay, this is the most firm conclusion I can come to. And now it's time to live. And as you do that, it'll become more clear because you'll start to enter into a more rational brain, mind, body, right? And then what you thought used to worry you probably won't even worry you anymore. So come to a conclusion if you want, write it down, throw it away, or put it up somewhere, and then just start living. Because that's all you can do. Because right now you're running in circles, right? But as you start to become more level headed by living your life and showing your brain that there's not a real tiger around, you'll start to become more rational. Things will start to become more clear. It's like trying to use a tired mind to fight with a tired mind. It's like, nah, these thoughts can be there, these feelings can be there. Come to your little conclusions if you want to, but that's all you can do. It's time to start living again, and everything will start to become more clear as you start to enter into that rest digest system, as you start to show the brain there's no real danger. And then one day you might get to a point where it's like things that used to trigger you don't even trigger you anymore. You know what I mean? Let's read that quote again. So, once you enter from fight or flight response to rest digest, your brain will automatically rewire itself, and all of the negative irrational thoughts will be replaced with positive rational thoughts, right? And when that happens, you'll be laughing. How do you do that? Okay, by understanding that the fight or flight does not know the difference between a real or a pretend threat. It also does not know the difference between a real or pretend response. If you get on with life in little or big ways, carrying yourself, even though you don't really want to do these things, right? But instead you get up and you play that game anyway, or you take the trash out, do the dishes, you do little positive things throughout your day. You don't have to exert yourself. You will start to enter into rest digest. When that happens, you'll be laughing. You can't see it now, okay? I know you can't see it now. And those were not my words. Those were not my words. That is borrowed knowledge. So you don't just have to take it from me. Well, that's the thing, Sean. Remember what I just said. Remember what I just said. That's not how it works. It's not about having to figure out every single what if worry that you have in order to feel better. Because obviously you can't do that. You've been trying to do that for how long? How well is that working out for you? It's time to start living. It's time to start living. And you will see for yourself that your brain will rewire itself. Right? And then you'll be laughing. Then you'll be laughing. Go at your own pace. Perfection not required. Ugh. Whew, it's a rainy day here, so it's got me yawning, guys. You'll have to forgive me. I think all the rain sounds we played on yesterday's stream. Bro, I laid in bed months trying to figure out all my worries. Totally convinced that unless I did, I wouldn't feel better. But it's not about that. It's that your brain is in an irrational negative spot right now. And if you want to retrain it, start living life little by little, doing things you enjoy, even though I know you don't really feel like it, and it'll start to enter into a positive rational side of your brain. That's what it's about, bro. Even though you can't see that right now, in your current spot, even though you can't see that right now in your current spot because you're still in that negative irrational part of the brain, which once you start rewiring the brain by living life, even though these feelings or thoughts are screaming at you, right, you'll start to enter into the positive rational side of the brain. And then these things won't have a hold over you. But I know that's tough to believe when you're in it. You know what I mean? That's tough to believe when you're in it. But you'll start to get little glimpses. You'll start to get little glimpses of how this is true once you get going, start living. Might not happen overnight, you know, but don't worry about time frames. Come to your little conclusions the best that you can, but then it's time to start living. Once you come to your little conclusions on your worries, then it's time to start living, and it'll become even more clear. So when I would get an irrational thought back in the day, I would just be like, just keep living, it'll become more clear, right? That was kind of like my little mantra that kept me going in those moments where I wanted to crawl back in bed and start obsessing again. That was kind of like my little reminder to myself that kept me going. Yeah, bro, it's okay to have these feelings come and go, Fee. You know, what's that little quote? People expect recovery like this, but sometimes it's a little bit like this, right? Just keep living, man. You're good, bro. You're safe. You got this. Play some Fortnite for me today, bro. Everybody here, everybody's been to their doctor, everybody's been to their therapist, they've been diagnosed, that sort of thing. It's like, play some Fortnite today. That's just one of a million examples, guys. Everybody in chat just all of a sudden starts downloading Fortnite. Keep in mind, guys, while you're doing this, this is not like a denial of the feelings or anything. This is not a denial of your anxiety. This is just living despite it, right? You're just living despite it. I'm kind of hungry, guys. I might have to grab me a Lunchable. Who here likes Lunchables? Personally, I am a huge fan. Well, that's the thing, man. You say you wish you could live in peace and happiness. Just start living while this fear's there, bro. And your brain's going to get the message. You know, if you've got worries in your life, I don't mind if you guys come up with a conclusion, but don't obsess. Come to the best conclusion you can, but then it's time to drop it and live, man. And then it'll become more clear as you go along, as you start to rewire that brain. Just live. Do little things you enjoy. You don't have to exert yourself. Sorry, I'm having a little snack over here. I'm trying to mute because I don't want to be chewing in your guys' ears. Hey, but I'm seeing good glimpses out of you though, John. Don't forget how far you've come, bro. Since you found the channel, I'm seeing good glimpses out of you. I'm trying to mute myself in between chewing so that I don't chew your ear off. How's your throat, Wonder Bro? You're still sounding a bit croaky. A little bit, but it's getting better, dude. Slowly, it's getting better. Hey, John. Hey, Sean. Hey, everybody in the chat right now. Fee Fish. I'm proud of you guys. I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud of you. You know, the reason you got to this point is because your whole life, you know, when fear would come, when anxiety would come, whatever, you know, and I did the same thing. You start to kind of bow to it, but we're learning how to accept it. We're learning how to accept it and overcome it, and by getting on with our life, even though it's there right now, even though it's there right now, we're showing ourselves who we want to be, and I'm proud of you guys. Even if you're going at a slow pace, I don't give a shit. I'm proud of you. It's better than what you were doing before you found the channel, right? Even if you just do a few things, I'm proud of you. Oh no, I know you're talking about my voice. Got my water right here in my repurposed 2 liter. You got it all wrong, Sean. This is not about not being afraid of anything. This is about allowing yourself to be afraid and just living your life. Go play a video game. Go take the trash out. Those are just one of many examples. Be fearless like me? I'm not fearless, bro. I'm fucking scared to death of spiders. If a spider was to come through that door right now, I'd shit my pants and run. You'd probably see me jump out this window. I'm scared to death of heights. I fucking hate heights. I don't like anything to do with heights. This ain't about being fearless, bro. I don't know. You're not trying to become Superman. You have anxiety and you're afraid of anxiety. Acceptance about getting over your fear of anxiety. Living your life despite the anxiety, despite the thoughts that tell you otherwise. Living your life, showing your brain that there's no real danger, and then you become more clear again. Doesn't mean you become fearless, bro. Take that pressure off yourself right now. I'm not fearless. This is about getting back into life, living life, and overcoming this anxiety thing, right? By proving to your brain there's no real threat. By proving to your brain there's no real danger. This isn't becoming about fearless to everything in the world. I mean, if you're already, if you're crying, dude. You know, get it out. Get it out and then go live. Get it out and then go take yourself a nice hot bath. Get it out and then go listen to your favorite song and remind yourself it's going to be okay. Get it out and then go clean your room up a bit. Get it out and then, do something you enjoy. This is proven to ourselves that yes, this anxiety is there, yes, these thoughts are there, but I'm just reminding myself instead of laying in bed obsessing about these thoughts, when they come, I'm just reminding myself, you know what? I'm just going to keep living, it'll become clear. You know, if you've got little solutions to your worries, that's fine. Write them down. Here's a solution to this and then get rid of it because the thing is there's a difference between I've got to worry, here's why that's irrational, and then just living life. But if you're doing that over and over and over and over and over again and you're not living life, then you're just obsessing. So maybe get a piece of paper. I've got this worry. Okay, that's fine because of this reason and but don't pick that up anymore at that point. Just get on with living then. Right? So what I'm trying to say is if you can come up with a solution to your worry that brings you peace, then by all means do so. But if you're obsessing day after day, week after week, month after month, the same shit all day, every day, chances are you've just got a brain that needs to be retrained. Normal people have worries that they can come up to a solution to. I'm not saying you're not normal. I'm simply saying you're in a tired body. They've got worries and they can be like, huh, I've got that worry, but here's why that's irrational. And then they just get on with their day. They don't think about it again, right? So if you're obsessing, chances are you've just got a brain that needs to be retrained. So that's the good news, right? Because I know for me, even if I could come up with solutions to my worries, I still felt like crap when those thoughts came. And that's a good indicator that you probably got a tired body, right? So if you've got a worry and you've got a solution to it, and at that point you can toss it out the window, great. But if you're just laying around in bed all day obsessing, it's time to just start living. It's time to just start living. You know what I mean? It's time to just start living because you've obviously got a body and a brain that needs to be retrained. It's like if I had a worry pop up in my head right now, I could come up with a solution to it, leave it alone, get on with my day, right? And that's what people do when they're not in a tired body and mind. But if you're just laying around obsessing all day, every day, and these quote unquote solutions aren't bringing you any peace, then chances are you've got a tired body and mind, right? If these little solutions aren't bringing you any peace, chances are you've got a tired body and mind that's kind of rejecting your rationality right now. And it's time to just retrain. It's time to just get up, start living, and understand that when these thoughts come, okay, just keep living and it'll become clear. Thank you, Wonder Bro. You have helped me so much. Hey, I appreciate it, John. I'm proud of you, bro. That's funny, Sean. That is amazing, Coffee. I'm glad you're needing the crutch less and less. I am so glad you're needing the crutch less and less. For people who still need the crutch of the Discord or whatever, that's fine. But if you find yourself rereading all the message history on there all day, every day, obsessing, you're not doing yourself any favors. I'll tell you right now. Okay? It's okay to have crutches. That's why they exist. That's why I'm here. It's okay to learn the knowledge. That's why I'm here. Right? But at some point, you got to start living. If you really want to help your brain and body out, at some point, you got to start living. It's okay to come in the streams when they happen. It's okay to check Discord every now and then. But at some point, you got to start living, man. If you've got that tired body and mind, you got to start showing it what's up. Right? And those thoughts might be screaming at you, but you just got to remember it'll become clear. Just keep living. So I got an irrational thought that's been on repeat for months now, and no matter the solution I come up with, doesn't seem to help. Okay, chances are you have a tired body and mind then, if that's the case. That's rejecting your rationality. So it's time to retrain, it's time to live life. And when those thoughts come, simply remind yourself, keep living, it'll become clear. Hey, I'm proud of every single one of you, man. I know that you're all kind of like on different spots on your journey right now, but I don't really care where you are in your journey right now. I'm still proud of you. Do you play Halo, Wonder Bro? I used to love Halo, bro. I was like a Halo addict. Hey, Sean, today, dude, do something you enjoy, man. Do something you enjoy. And like I said, if you've got these worries and you can come up with a solution and leave it alone, fine. But chances are, if your brain is rejecting that rationality, if you've been obsessing for weeks, months, days now, bro, you've got a tired body and mind that need to be retrained, and then you'll become more rational. And then you'll become more rational. So it's time to just start living. And when these thoughts come, remind yourself, just keep living. It'll become more clear. There's no need to jump in bed and start obsessing. Just keep living. It'll become more clear. Halo 3 was the shit, dude. I love me some Halo 3. The best Halo game in my opinion. Absolutely the best Halo game in my opinion. You're going to have your moments, you're going to have your ups and downs, guys, while you do this. And that's okay. Well, see, the thing about it is, John, when you're in combat, you don't have time for fear because that's real danger. When you're not doing anything and you're just up in your head instead of living life, then that's fear. Fear is always about something that has not yet happened. Fear cannot exist in something that has happened because that's danger at that point. So, when you've got a mind and body that's dominated by fear, well, it's time to start living and show your brain that this fear is irrelevant. And then that's when you start to become more rational. And that's when you start to laugh at your old fears. Here, guys, I don't want it to be too boring. Let's get some music going. Let's see. Copyright free music. Hey, that sounds awesome, Sean. Personally, I've never seen Back to the Future. I know it's like so popular and I've never seen it, but I don't know, man. I don't watch a whole lot of movies. I'm more of a series kind of guy. I would help you out. You guys got any movie recommendations for me? Hey, Sean, take it from me, bro. Take it from me. I'm assuming you've been to a doctor or whatever. I'm assuming you've been told you're dealing with anxiety and panic. Take it from me, bro. Just get on with life. Live. Live, man. Live, it'll all become more clear. I know you don't feel like it, but live, it'll all become more clear. You'll start to see your true self. Back to the Future. You guys are recommending Back to the Future? I would like to watch a movie. It's kind of like a good movie day. It's a really rainy day here, so. So you just know that you're a worry wart, Sean? Because I was always a worry wart. Growing up, I was like the biggest control freak slash worry wart that I've ever met. Of course, it's important to remember I'm not a doctor, guys. But I have been through the ringer with anxiety and panic and tired nervous system. My octopus friend? I don't even think I've heard of that. Sounds interesting, though. How you doing, Lynn? I hope you're having a great day. Bob your head with the music with me, guys. Come on. We talk about living life a little bit. We talk about living life a little bit, right? What do you guys think you got to climb Mount Everest for a positive behavior? No, you don't have to climb Mount Everest. The anxiety wants to see you in bed. The anxiety wants to see you in bed, always on the form, always on the whatever, whatever. Yeah, John, I was always that kind of person growing up. Worry, worry, worry. I didn't do a whole lot of living. I didn't do a whole lot of living, man. I don't know what this music is, guys. It's just like I don't have many options. I've got to play copyright free stuff, which kind of sucks but whatever. Like the music's actually not half bad. I wish we could play copyrighted stuff though. That would be awesome. If only. If only. So, you know, for example, guys, if the anxiety wants to see you in bed all day today, but instead you're like sitting up on your couch or whatever, you know, whatever the case may be, and you're listening to music with me bobbing your head, that's something, man. That's something. I think you guys don't give yourself enough credit. It's like, no, I don't really want to be bobbing my head to the music right now, but I'm going to anyway because fuck it, why not? If it helps my brain, it helps my brain, you know? And when these thoughts come that say, why are you sitting there bobbing your head? That's fucking pointless. You can say, well, you know what? Because I'm just living, motherfucker. I'm sick of this shit. What kind of movies do you like? Uh, I'm a big fan of horror, but at the same time, I don't think they make very many good horror movies these days. So I like classic horror, but I also enjoy a good comedy from time to time. One movie that I watched recently that I really enjoyed was King of Staten Island. That was a really good movie in my opinion. I also like anything Tim Burton. I love his style. Hey, no problem, John. And remember, bro, you're not missing any magical phrase or anything, bro. So you don't have to watch the whole thing if you don't want to, bro. Just live your life, you know. And, you know, the thing about it is, man, you know, we think that we're missing something. You know what I mean? We think that we're missing something, but just live your life. If you're seeing a doctor, if you're seeing a therapist, that's great. Take their advice, of course. And then remember, just live your life, man. Have I seen 28 Weeks Later? I think I did like years ago, dude. It's been a while. Zombie movies? I mean, there is some good zombie movies out there. Hanging in there, Lynn? I'm glad you're hanging in there. Do something you enjoy today. Do something you enjoy today. World War Z with Brad Pitt. Now, I know I haven't seen that one. Hey, let's see if we can get some people out of their comfort zones a little bit. If you're watching the stream now and you've never said hi before, feel free to say hi. Feel free to just say hi if you want to. Hey man, living while it's there, right, Ryder? Proving to your brain you don't need protection. Missing out on these great movies? I probably am, dude. There's a lot I haven't seen that I would like to eventually see. Young Frankenstein old movie? I don't think I've heard of that one. I mean, yeah, I understand why some people don't chat. They'd rather just listen or whatever, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that, but there's a lot of nice people here. Yeah, that's true, Sean. That's very true. Very, very true. Sometimes it's like, oh man, I just want to stick to my classics. I understand how that feels. I just need to clear my head. We won't buy, guys. Heck no, we won't. I don't think I've ever heard this one. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I've heard this one. I remember this one well, actually. How tall am I? I'm around 6'3", but it's been a while since I've measured. But at the same time, I highly doubt I've grown anymore. I highly doubt it. Like I'm probably done growing at this point. I think that's pretty safe to say. How tall is everybody in chat? Do I look shorter on camera? Yeah, I'm a pretty big guy. I'm a pretty big guy. I'd love to take Nova out today if it stops raining, but at the same time, it's like she broke her collar yesterday. I could not find, like, a good collar for that dog. I just cannot do it. She takes off and snaps every collar eventually. Lynn, 5'3". Hey, there is nothing wrong. There is nothing wrong with short people. Oh na 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 na, oh na 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 na. There is nothing wrong with being short. Yeah, that's probably what it is, Sean. Ugh. If I had to guess, I'm around 6 foot. Nice, nice. Yeah, man, I was always a tall kid and shit. Like, I was always, like, taller than most of my friends and stuff. Who you calling short? Hey, I better be careful. Lynn gonna show up and beat my ass. I better be careful. Hey, them little people, they know how to fight. Them little people know how to fight. Okay, okay, I got you, Sean. Well, hey, man, I hope you enjoy your movie later, bro. Sounds like a good idea to me. I know sometimes these feelings can be screaming at you. These anxiety feelings. I know sometimes these irrational thoughts and worries can scream at you. But, just do your best to live your life anyway. Don't give them too much power. You know in your heart they're irrational. So start to become the real you, man, and you'll start to realize that even more and more. It'll all become more clear. Hey, I'm just picking on you, Lynn. I'm just picking on you. She said, little people, dang. Hey, see, man, it's not always about anxiety talk 24/7. You don't have to binge watch my videos 24/7, man. Live. And if you want to hang out in here, we can talk about whatever. That's part of living, man. It's part of feeling better. You might not feel like it, but, I get it. It's all about long term, man. Sometimes we forget that. Sometimes we can forget that it can be about long term sometimes. Not that you won't start feeling better soon, but you get what I'm saying. These things add up, bro. That's the point I'm trying to make. Hey, you know, like I was saying, Sean, if these worries that you had solutions, come to a solution. But then it's time to start living again. And when these thoughts come back, just remind yourself, live, and it'll all become clear. I know sometimes we don't always feel like that, but Lynn with the peace sign. Yeah, no doubt, Sean, no doubt. You know, it can be anybody, man. It's not necessarily like, you know, a particular group of people. That's why you shouldn't feel bad about yourself. Hey, man, I hope you're, hope you're improving due to the channel, man. That's awesome. That's what it's all about, you know? Hey, well, I'm really glad the channel's helping you, man. I really am. That's what it's all about, bro. Just trying to let people know, that they're not alone. Because sometimes it can feel pretty lonely. And sometimes we get these feelings and worries and we're not really sure what to do with them, you know? And it's kind of ironic because we spend so long fighting with them and it just doesn't seem to work. So we look for other solutions. And that's when people, that's when people find the channel. That's when people start doing research and stuff. And then you find somebody who's like telling you, you know what, it's okay that you don't have all the solutions. It's okay that you feel anxious. It's okay that you have negative thoughts. You're fine. You're okay. Live your life and it'll become clear, I promise. And sometimes, it takes falling that low in order to figure that out. And that's okay. I'm not a huge fan of that song in particular.
You said I was the only one. No one likes being lied to. You made this mess and left me with the pieces. Now I wanna burn all the bridges between us.
I know for me, man, it felt pretty lonely. I think everybody in the chat can agree with that.
I've been stuck on your memory, but it's not like I need it. And we may have some history, but we don't have to repeat it.
Rocket League music. It's kind of what it sounds like, bro. You don't have a whole lot of choices when it comes to copyright free stuff. It's kind of a bummer, but it's not bad. I've definitely heard worse. I forgot to turn my lights on today behind me. Forgot all about that. Man, I wish we could play copyrighted stuff like that. That would be awesome. That'll never happen, but I wish we could. Ugh. Oh, that felt good. Being able to lean back for a while. My shoulders are getting a little bit better. I totally get what you mean by that. I totally get what you mean by that, Sean. thinking back on your past or whatever. Yeah, I totally get what you mean by that. But I'm telling you, bro, keep living. You're gonna get back to yourself. Stop stressing it. You know, and I know that's easy. That's a hell of a lot easier said than done. But do things you enjoy, man. Do things you enjoy. And when you start to worry, just remind yourself, keep living. Keep living. It'll all become clear. What's up, Nisha? Hey, I seen your comment in the Discord the other. Blah blah. I'm getting tongue tied. I seen your comment in the Discord the other day. Proud of you for making some progress. Hey, I love to see that positivity, Lynn. I've had a bad year, like most. Okay, that's fair to say, but was free of severe anxiety for over 15 years. You know, sometimes we have bad times, right? Sometimes, you know, we let things get away from us a little bit. That's okay. That's life, guys. You don't have to feel bad about that. We're getting you back on track. It's okay. We're getting you back into living. Well, that's the thing, Nisha. If something is near and dear to your heart and you want to do something, you'll do it, right? Sometimes you got to make choices in life. That's okay. Make the best one that you can. When we say negative, intrusive thoughts or worries, we're talking about what ifs. We're talking about catastrophic thinking. We're talking about worries about symptoms. We're talking about worries about that are irrational. You know what I mean? It's like you can know a worry is irrational, but it still seems real to you, and that's probably because you're in a tired body. But as far as making choices for your life, certain decisions in your life, Nisha, you'll make the best choice. Trust in yourself to make the best choice. That's the thing. We sometimes we do have decisions we need to make in life. You'll make the best choice and you'll run with it, right? That's all you can do. All you can do is make what you think is the best choice and go with it, right? But these irrational what if thoughts and this catastrophic thinking and all this, it doesn't serve a purpose really. And that's why we say just live and it'll become clear. But as far as making good choices in your life goes and stuff, don't worry, you'll always make the best choice for you personally. Focus on that progress, Nisha, because that's great. Live your life. Sometimes these irrational thoughts come. We just got to remind ourselves, you know, maybe I'm a bit sensitive right now. I'm just going to keep living and it'll all become clear. Even though I know it's tempting to just go lay in bed and obsess. Which there's nothing wrong with resting. You know, when I say live, I don't mean exert yourself to death. I simply mean, you know, it's okay to rest, but instead of laying in bed obsessing, just remind yourself, just keep living. It'll all become clear. If you can have a solution to your worries, have it. But chances are you've tried that and now you're just running in circles, which tells me you probably got a tired body. Anxiety is just like the caveman brain, yeah. It kind of sees how you react and how you behave, and that's why we say, you know, live life. Is this a good one? I can't remember. Boom, boom, boom. Do I like Green Day? They're okay. I used to listen to them more than I do now. Give me a drink. Oh. Shoulders are definitely starting to feel a little bit better. I think everybody knows that classic. Oh. Got me on. Such a good song. That I like to. I'm starting to like memorize all these songs just from the fact that I play them on stream so often. Ooh. I wish we had more freedom to play more music. But we work with what we got. Oh, Billy Joel. I love me some Billy Joel. Sing me a song, Mr. Piano Man. See, I do know the classics. Much lately. I can't sing. Period. Much less much less with my voice. You only get what you get. I'm a rocket man. Burning up his fumes up here alone. Well, that's the thing too, Sean. You know, when you're in a tired body and mind, you're not as rational as you normally would be. But living life will help you get back to that. May not feel like it's working while you're living, but you'll probably start to see glimpses, you know, probably sooner rather than later. I love that, Edward. Drop a sick rap album for 10K. Just drop a sick rap album, dude. What do you guys think? Well, that kind of just meant, Sean, if you go around focusing on what you don't want, you know, then that's all you're thinking about. That's all you're feeling. You know, sometimes when these thoughts comes, we just need to remember, just live. It'll become clear. It doesn't mean if you think about a heart attack, you're going to get a heart attack. It doesn't mean literally. It just means, you know, you go around thinking about everything that you don't want, you're probably going to feel kind of shitty. So when these thoughts automatically pop up, just remind yourself, just live. It'll become clear. It'll become clear as you start to heal. Yeah, it doesn't mean quite literally. It just means, you know, when these thoughts pop up, you should remind yourself, just live. It'll become more clear. This is a pretty good song right here. Pretty good song, but I don't know. I think I'm. I don't know. I kind of want a repeat of the last. It's a pretty good song. Wonder Park. That's amazing, Edward. I try to laugh with this voice, man. He's my favorite rapper, Tupac. Nice. Well, it kind of happens naturally, Sean. Because you're entering into a calmer state of body and mind by living your life and not giving too much credit to these thoughts. Just reminding yourself, it's okay, just keep living. I accept my feelings, I accept my thoughts, but I'm just going to keep living. Instead of trying to fight them, just accept them, let them burn themselves up. Hope you're having a good day, Edward. I love that saying, Lynn. It's one of my favorites, actually. What's up, Abel? It's good to see you, dude. Hope you're having a good one. Oh shit, I'm knocking shit over here. I need your love. Oh, na 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 na. I need your love. Oh. Well, it's not your doing, Kay. Sometimes these thoughts are automatic. But, you accept them for what they are. You remind yourself, just keep living and it'll all become clear. Because you're retraining your brain. How long have we been streaming now, guys? Almost 2 hours? Damn. We've had long streams here recently. What's up, Craig? This is probably my favorite one out of the whole mix. Hey, let your feelings do whatever they want to do. Let your thoughts come and go, man. Smile, live your life. I eventually started working a fish job. Came home smelling like fish every day. I need to shave, guys. I'll probably be right there with her, Craig. Is this a new song? I don't recall this one. Sounds different. Sounds like it's about to be a banger, guys. Trying to find something. Hey, that's a good way to look at it, Asen. Is life hard? That's subjective, because everybody's thinking different ways. The guy who lives under the bridge, right? He may smile more. He may live his life to the fullest. And the guy who lives in the mansion, he may do the opposite.
Style and sophistication have a new home. Yours. Ashley Home Store's Haviland's collection.
Are you kidding me? I did not catch that ad or that ad in time. So that will be a nice 3,000 emails to get later.
Lord knows that I've tried to. You said I was the only one. No one likes being lied to. You made this mess and left me with the pieces. Now I wanna burn all the bridges between us. I can't focus. I can't forget. I've been thinking too much lately. I just need to clear my head.
It's like if I don't catch the ads in time, they send me a bunch of emails. It's like copyright content.
I've been stuck on your memory, but it's not like I need it. And we may have some history, but we don't have to repeat it. You made this mess and
Left me with the pieces. Ooh.
now I'm gonna burn all the
These bridges between us.
I can't focus. I can't forget. I've been thinking too much lately. I just need to clear.
Good point, Sean. A band called Snow Patrol? I don't believe so. Was my headset dying? The best thing you could tell Corey is that he has nothing to worry about. Let these feelings come and go. Don't add fear to them, and they will be free to move on their way. Tell him he is safe. He has nothing to worry about. I've never played any FIFAs. Biggest bluff. Biggest bluff. Look at it a different way. Look at it as extra energy instead of looking at it as horrible. That'll make a world of difference right there. Well, don't try to force yourself, Sean. You're making a mistake when you try to force yourself. It's just when these thoughts come, simply remind yourself, I'm just going to keep living, you know? They can be there if they want. It's not about forcing them out. Present moment, all that crap has nothing to do with about forcing your thoughts out. It's just you see them for what they are and keep living your life anyway. Alright guys, I will be right back. I'm back, guys. Sorry about that. Gotta plug my headset up here before it does. Let's see. There we go. Headset trying to die on me. Bro, I used to play Halo 3 like every weekend, man. Like it was crazy. I love me some Halo. I need a longer cord for this. Excuse me, Nova. My puppy dog.
And I've been chillin', watching the ocean with you. Baby up with a slow motion crew. And we up in our growlings when people change, but not us. And we just chillin', kicking it, kissed by the sun. Could be soaked to the skin in the mall soon. I know she got the good vibes when seasons change, but we're the same. Even if I lost all my money,
Ugh. Hopefully I don't have peanut butter in my beard. Go on, Nova. Peanut butter in the beard check. Well, that's the thing, Kay. You're in a tired body, so it's overreacting to your thoughts. It's not about this, that, or the other. It's not about trying to disprove or prove your negative thoughts or whatever. You got to understand you're just in a tired body, so it's overreacting. It doesn't matter if you're thinking about pink elephants or it doesn't matter. It's just overreacting because you're in a tired body. So that's why we say just live. And when these thoughts come, simply remind yourself, just live and it'll become clear. It'll clear up. You'll start to be more rational. You don't feel like just living, but just do something you enjoy. Just live today. And then when these thoughts come, simply remind yourself. Just live. Just live and it'll become clear in time. Because there's a part of you that doesn't have a tired body that would not overreact to these thoughts. You can't forget that. So why try to figure them out now when there's a part of you that wouldn't care, you know? That's what you need to remind yourself as you just get on and get living when these thoughts come. Okay, thank you so much for the $20 tip. I really, really appreciate it. Can we get a hashtag K in the chat, please? Can we get a hashtag K in the chat? I know your anxiety wants to make you just sit there all frozen, but how about we start living by putting a hashtag K in the chat? Thank you so much for that, K. So understand, Kay, as you move forward, like I just said, it's not so much about trying to figure it all out. You got to understand, you're in a tired, sensitive body that's overreacting. You've got a brain that's worst case scenarios because you're in a tired body and mind. So as you just live and you want to obsess, just remind yourself, just keep living. It'll all become clear. You know, because you're making the switch. You're proving to your brain there's no real danger. Therefore, when you start to enter into a calmer state of body and mind as a result of your new behaviors and just living life a little bit, you know, go at your own pace, you'll start to see real glimpses of your true personality. A lot of what if thinking, Craig, because I mean, I know you personally, you've been to the doc many times. So it's a lot of what if thinking that's driving your fear. What you need to understand is when you have these feelings, remind yourself it's okay to have these feelings, right? There's no need to tell horror stories about them. We get ourselves in a bit of trouble when we start telling horror stories. Remind yourself you're safe. Right? And then do something you enjoy. Live your life. Talk to your friend about football or aliens or whatever the case may be. I always use that as an example. Accept our feelings and thoughts for what they are. Right? And when we're in a sensitized body, like you, for example, Kay, when you're in a tired body, you know, you just need to remind yourself instead of obsessing so much. Again, perfection is not required, but remind yourself from time to time. Just keep living. It'll all become clear because I'll start to enter into the rational me, that part of my brain, because I'm demonstrating to my brain that all is well. Live your life. Don't give these negative thoughts too much credit. Understand that it'll all become more clear as you continue living and not giving these thoughts too much credit. Come on, guys, let's get a hashtag K in chat. Well, I mean, we are past the 2 hour mark in the stream, so there's only a handful of us here. Once we pass like the hour and a half, 2 hour mark, it becomes more of like just a hangout stream, so there tends to only be a handful of people. See, that's the thing, guys. Like, the little things do matter. So somebody who's sitting there like really sensitized right now and they're hearing me say live your life to show your brain there's no real danger, and when these thoughts come just remind yourself keep living, it'll become clear. It's like getting the people to take that step can be hard, to get that motivation rolling, because they're so bluffed by their thoughts they don't realize it's not the real them talking. And as soon as they start living and demonstrating to their brain that all is well, they'll start to enter into that rational side of their brain. So it's like some people may be sitting there so like in a sensitized place they don't even feel like, for example, typing in the chat, right? But it's all about taking that first step and then letting the motivation and, letting the momentum build from there, getting back into life. And you're still going to have these feelings, you're still going to have these thoughts, but when they come, you're reminding yourself, just keep living and it'll all become clear, because I'll slowly start to enter into that real me, right? Even if I can't see it right now. But getting those positive behaviors rolling, that's what slowly starts to get you back into that. Even if you can't see it right now. It can be really hard to see it sometimes. That's what I'm here for. When those thoughts come, just remind yourself, man, just live. It'll become clear. When that rational side of me comes out, it'll all become clear. I'm not going to give that too much credit. If, you can come up with a solution to that, you probably already would have. So just, you probably got a tired body right now. And that's why it's kind of rejecting your solutions. So just start retraining. Do something positive. Switch it up, man. Switch it up. Little things matter. Live your life. That rational you will come out. Because I know for a fact, Kay, that you've seen some good days. So just keep living, right? That's the point. You don't have to binge watch all my videos. Such a rainy day here today. All right, you beautiful people, we have been going for 2.5 hours now, so I'm going to go ahead and end this stream here. I love you guys, and I'm sure I'll see you in the next stream.